All right, welcome to your grammar lesson for the week. Your objective is I will edit the 5 errors in the going Batty nonfiction text. And what I do, you do. This is your editing grammar lesson, so let's get started. At any time, you can pause and go at your own pace. When you are done, this is going to go in the turn in bin so I can check to see that you completed this. You must do the editing strategies with me. What I have on my paper should be on your paper. Make sure you listen to the audio. You should have your headphones on. Then let's get started. When we edit, let's write editing. Good writers are able to spot what needs to be corrected. And when you edit, you only focus on these 4 things. The acronym that we use is CUPS. The C, remember, stands for words that need to be capitalized. So we're going to abbreviate and just put caps. Write this down. The U stands for usage, verb usage, matching the noun to the verb. Like I was going to, I am going to. The P stands for punctuation. And the S stands for spelling. So anytime that you are editing, you're only looking at the, we're going to put only read sentences. You're only reading these sentences when you edit. You don't have to read all 16 sentences. You don't have to read the text. You only read these sentences. And then you look to see in each of those sentences if words need to be capitalized or if it's incorrectly capitalized, if the verb matches the noun, verb usage, if there's a period that needs to be added at the end of the sentence, a comma or an apostrophe is being used correctly or incorrectly, and if words are spelled correctly, spelling. So let's get started. Number 1, what change, if any, should be made in sentence 1? The strategy is you circle number 1. Please do that with me. We look at our answer choices. But first, let's read sentence 1. Austin, Texas is the location of the Congress Avenue Bridge over Town Lake. A says remove the comma after Austin, so I need to go here, and I need to do exactly what A is saying. This is going to be super helpful. Please do the editing strategies with me so you can visually see all the possible edits above the word in that sentence. That way you don't have to go back and forth. So cross out that comma. Change avenue to avenue. The only difference is this is a lowercase a. That's starting with the lowercase a. So I would underline it. And above it, I would write a lowercase a. Change Town Lake to Town Lake with a lowercase t, a lowercase l. So underline it in the sentence. This is answer choice C. The reason that we're writing it above here is so we can visually see if this is the correct edit. That's a lowercase t and a lowercase l. D says no changes needed in sentence 1. So let's look. A, Austin, Texas. Now, Austin is the city and Texas is the state. Whenever we write a city and a state, you always need a comma after the city, in between. So sadly, A was saying to remove it, and that's not correct. We need that. B, change avenue to a lowercase avenue. Let's go back and look. Congress Avenue. Now, this is the location of a very specific place. It's the name of the bridge. Congress Avenue is a proper noun, so should proper nouns start with a lowercase or uppercase letter? Proper nouns start with a uppercase letter, so it's not going to be the little a by little a. It's not B. You cross that out in the sentence and down here. C, change town lake to town lake with the lowercase t and L. Once again, this is the name of the lake, the proper noun. So sadly, by a little t, by a little L, it's not C. Sentence 1 is written correctly, no change needed. These are all proper nouns, and you need that comma there. Let's go to number 2. What I have, you should have on yours, on your paper. What I do, you do. How should sentence 9, so let's go back and look just at sentence 9. Remember, because when we edit, we only read the sentences. And in that sentence, we look for words that need to be capitalized, match the noun and the verb, that's usage, punctuation, and spelling. The citizens were told that the colony of bats under the bridge would eat up to 30,000 pounds of insects every single night. Now, let's look at answer choice A. Change citizens to citizens, but there's an apostrophe between the letter N and S. So let's underline citizens, and then let's add the apostrophe in between the N and the S, between those two letters. Colony, they're asking us to change the spelling. Remember, it's all about cups when we edit. So above it, let's write the new spelling. And then what resource in the classroom can you use to check the spelling? Remember, a dictionary. You can always use a dictionary, and you get to use a dictionary for anything in class. Bridge to bridge. That spelling looks a little weird, but I'm still going to write it so I can see if that's the best edit. So you should have these words underlined. Single. They are wanting us to spell it like this. So please make sure that you have all of the possible edits, all these answer choices above the words in sentence 9. Your editing strategies. So now we have to go back and eliminate. Part of why we have them up here is so we don't have to look down here. Just look at the sentence. The citizens were told that the colony, let's look at the first one. Citizens. What is the purpose? What is the job of the apostrophe? The job of the apostrophe is to show ownership. Now, is the word were or the telling us who the citizens belong to? It's not next to the, remember, next to citizens, we don't have the owner, the person. So this apostrophe is no bueno, it's no good. So let's cross out A. It's written correctly. You do not need an apostrophe. Now let's look at colony. The citizens were told that the colony of bats, colony means a group of bats. This is a spelling answer choice, a possible spelling edit. Now, we would use our dictionary, and the word colony is spelled correctly, as is, so we don't need that spelling. It's already written correctly, so cross out B. Bridge. If you use your dictionary, you know that you need an E at the end, so it's not that spelling. So it's not C. Let's look at D, change single to single. Eat up to 30,000 pounds of insects every single night, meaning one. Single meaning one. This is not spelled correctly, so it has to be D. You spell single, S-I-N-G-L-E, and you can verify that with a dictionary, so it's D. Let's look at number 3, sentence 12. I want you to circle it. The bats show up early in early spring and stay until it gets cold. It's asking us to underline spring, and it's asking us to change the S, that's uppercase, to a little one. So we'll do that. A little one. But on this one, I'm going to rewrite it because that helps me out. B, insert a comma after spring. Okay, we're going to add the comma right there. Then answer choice C. I'm going to zoom in so you can see. Answer choice C says change stay to stayed. All right. So I don't have a lot of space, so I'm going to draw a line out here and write stayed. Still going to underline it though. Answer choice D says sentence 12 is correctly written. Correctly written. So let's look. The bats show up in early spring. Spring is a season. Now, are seasons supposed to be, or is the first letter in spring supposed to be uppercase or lowercase if it's a season? Remember, seasons do not start with an uppercase letter. Don't let that trick you. So this might be our answer. So far, let's look at the next one. Insert a comma after spring was B. The bats show up in early spring. Oh, the reason they want you to get confused by this, there's a conjunction and, but we know that you use a comma and a conjunction if there are two complete sentences. The bats show up in early spring is a complete sentence. The subject is the bats. The predicate is show up in early spring. But the sentence on the other side is not balanced correctly. Stay until it gets cold. It's missing its subject. This is the predicate. Stay until it gets cold is a predicate, the verb. It's missing the subject, the who. So this is not a complete sentence. So you do not need to use the comma and conjunction. So it's not that, we don't need that. Stay, let's plug it in. The reason we have this written down is so we can plug it in. The bats show up in early spring and stayed until it gets cold, or stay. This is usage. Is it stay or stayed? Sorry, stayed. It's not going to be that edit. So we cross it out. So it's either written correctly, D, or A. The bats show up in early spring, and we all agreed that seasons do not start with a capital letter, so it's spring with a lowercase s. So we would go and circle it here, and then we're going to zoom out, and down here, it's going to be A. We have two more to edit. 13. Let's see what it says. 13. It is now a summer tradition for people to visit the bridge at night to watch the bats flies out. Underline summer. And they want us to, it's a season. They want us to start that word with an uppercase S. Change night to night. These two words sound the same, but they're spelled differently. They're homophones. So B is a spelling. Find the word night right here. And we don't have a lot of space, so I'm going to draw my line out and rewrite it with a K, N-I-G-H-T. Then C says change flies to fly. I would find it. It's right here. And I would write out to the side, fly. This is usage, verb usage. Is it flies or fly? Let's look. It is now a summer tradition. We know that seasons are not supposed to start with uppercase letters. Now this one, it has summer with the lowercase s. Do we need the big S, the uppercase A? No, we do not. It's written correctly, so it's not A. It is now a summer tradition, so we read it again. We plug it in. The next one. It is now a summer tradition for people to visit the bridge at night. Now, this night is talking about when it gets dark, after evening. This spelling is talking about a person in armor fighting, like a knight, like a medieval knight. So sadly, it's not that spelling. It's talking about the time of day when the bats come out. So it's not going to be B. Now let's plug in our verb usage. Is it flies or fly? This is a verb usage one. It is now a summer tradition for people to visit the bridge at night to watch the bats flies out, or it is now a summer tradition for people to visit the bridge at night to watch the bats fly out. Flies or fly? It's fly. So C is going to be the edit for sentence 13. Let's look at 14. Circle it. What I have, you should have. What I do, you do. More than 1 million flying bats look like dark swirling clouds moving around in the sky. I want you to underline million. And they want you to write million, so let's add the S. B, insert a comma after dark. C, change clouds to clouds. I'm gonna underline it, and below here, I'm gonna write it down here because I have no space. I want to be able to see it. I want to be organized. They want us to add an apostrophe. And D is no change. More than 1 millions flying bats or 1 million? Does it make sense? More than 1 millions flying bats? If the S is already there, we don't need millions. So for 14, answer choice A, change million to millions. We have to cross it out. It doesn't make sense. We don't need that S. More than 1 million flying bats look like dark, swirling clouds moving around in the sky. Is it showing us in that sentence who the clouds belong to? The ownership? The job of the apostrophe is to show the owner, who it belongs to. Moving, and swirling, that's not telling us who they belong to. So for number 5, we need to cross out C. So it's either no change is needed or insert a comma after dark. After dark. More than 1 million flying bats look like dark, pause, swirling clouds moving around in the sky. It's going to be C. We need that pause there. More than 1 million flying bats look like dark, swirling clouds moving around in the sky. We need to put that comma there, and it's going to be B. That's the correct one. So now at this time, you should have all of this written down. You should have your name. Please turn this into the turn-in bin, and this was your grammar lesson. And you were successfully able to edit the 5 errors in the Going Batty nonfiction text using your editing strategies by only reading the sentences and using the acronym CUPS. That reminds you that when you look at those sentences, you either need to fix words that need to be capitalized, verb usage, punctuation, and spelling. Great job.